In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
Telling you, y'all. I need you guys to help me with that stuff. I have been here updating everything and re-updating everything and having my issues with my technical stuff. I get it all fixed, all the hard stuff, and then I forget to turn the sound on the music, which is probably the easiest part. That's how it goes. You can see here on our camera view this morning that Toledo Bend is not a place to be fishing. I know that I'm going to be out there Memorial Day weekend. I've joked about how that means the weather's going to be terrible, but if it doesn't look like this, my goal is, because we're pretty close to this area, I want to come up here in the boat we're going to be in and wave to you guys. I'll show you if that happens, and hopefully I can sit there and put on a clinic and catch some fish. We'll see about that. Now, the Alexandria camera, it is breezy. Trust me, you can see the trees waving out there. I was just out for a little bit, and it is kind of rocking and rolling. Wind gusts up around 30 miles per hour for today, and that is going to cause, minor issues. You're gonna hear the wind chimes chiming. Rain showers and storms off to the east. That's all exiting to the east, and we're gonna keep several days in here, I think, of dry conditions. The moisture flows overhead. It's gonna get very hot and humid. Well, moderately hot and humid for Louisiana, but it's gonna be nasty, and we're not gonna get the rainfall here because the actual upper system is gonna pass far enough north to where I think that all that heavy stuff is gonna stay up north. 82 degrees here in Alexandria right now, 78 Faraday, and there is your gusty wind out of the south-southwest, and we're gonna see gusts up over 30 in spots, and those gusts are going to come down a bit as we see the sun go down at night, but still I think we're gonna get some wind gusts up around 20-25 miles per hour, and then late in the night they come back and we are going to see that wind really picking up. 90 degrees, 3 p.m. today. We're looking mostly clear. Things are looking dry for today. It is going to be a little stormy up north, and that's going to be the theme over the next few days. We're going to wait, you said crappie actually like to bite in weather like this. I like how you're talking there. That'll stop me dead in my tracks if we start talking about fishing. Now, severe weather possible up to the north, and over the next 7 days, we're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of action up to the north, and I think it's going to stay away from us. After that, though, we transition into a different pattern, slightly different, and I'll tell you about that. For today, it looks like nothing. I don't even think these little blips are going to show up, so I'm going to keep rain chances out of the forecast. It looks like some clouds each day over the next 7, so that's going to provide a little shade for us as we heat up into the low 90s for the next week, but I don't think we are going to see any appreciable rainfall. And just to show you again, it's all staying to the north. GFS model. It hasn't been perfect lately, but I think it's on with the idea here of really stringing these storms out from the Ohio River Valley back maybe even into North Louisiana. That's about as close as it gets to us, but you can just see how that just continues to roll on to the north, just kind of a conveyor belt up that way. And then that final blast kind of comes through as the main upper feature moves on to the east. And then I think we transition into a northwesterly flow. And that typically this time of year is what brings us some storms. Look at this heat out in Texas, 103 degrees today in San Antonio. I showed it to you yesterday. Going to be several days of that. And actually, the thing is that high pressure ridge that's built up into our area, that's what's going to protect us from seeing any of this severe weather that's going to stay up to the north. So yes, it's going to be hot, but it's going to keep us from the severe weather, which is very typical of this time of year. And then yes, the temperatures do come down. Look at how that cool front just comes on through into western Kansas and northwest Texas. Kind of neat looking there. Blue still out in the mountains, so it is still cold. They're still getting snow in spots. And for us, nothing over the next week, really. I mean, I have like a 10 to 20% chance for rain a couple of days. The heavier stuff stays to the north. You knew that. I-20, that's where we could see some showers and storms, but I don't think we're going to see anything really widespread in state. So Saturday and Sunday, low rain chances, low 90s for highs, and it looks like we are going to see mid 70s at night. So we're going to come up to, in the summer, we may peak with lows in the upper 70s to near 80, but this is pretty much right on tap for right on par with what we would have in the summer. Mid 70s for those overnight lows. Then as we get that northwesterly flow, you can almost see it here. We have the cooler temperatures up to the north. That flow could bring in some rounds of storms perhaps toward the end of the month, again toward Memorial Day. I think around midweek next week, late week next week, we could see maybe one round of storms. So we'll be watching that for you, but temperatures are going to stay relatively close to where they should be, a few degrees above normal, but it doesn't look like anything too crazy. And yes, we keep it at least somewhat active there with, again, that round of storms possible as we get late into next week. But other than that, things are looking really kind of just hot and humid and very summer-like. So yeah, You'll be able to mow. No, yeah, you're not going to get stuck now, and yeah, you're going to be dragging around the water hoses soon enough. So that's how it goes. This is not summer just yet, but this is giving us a good preview of what we're going to see here for the next several months. I am going to get out of here. Glad I got everything fixed up and ready to roll. Hopefully now we are done with all that, but who knows? There's always a surprise around the corner. Also working on getting everything finished up and updated on the website and everything. I think the app is back in working order now, but it's been quite a ride over the last couple of weeks, and I am not that smart. I can talk about weather. That's the only thing I do well, but we're figuring it out. All right, I'm out of here. I will see you back here tomorrow, hopefully at the regular time.